Good time of day. So, another repeat of a stream, but there's only one sorta after this, so going to be back to our regularly scheduled. Whoa, 1 second. I forgot to mute that. Okay. Scuff as usual. Anyways, there should be one more next week that will be shorter. This might be shorter, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. So, back to this. Now, this week, we have on our docket 20th through 26th, which is Uncharted. Rhinoceros. That's going to be an interesting one. Camp, Rust, Expedition, Scarecrow, and Camera. Camera should be relatively easy. Scarecrow, relatively easy. But once again, we have Expedition, Trek, and Camp will be a unique one, but people were really judging this list before. And while it's more themed than other years, it does seem to have a lot of repeats. But anyways, so to start off, I am on day 20. So Uncharted, which could also, fit under, most things could fit under remote, exotic, all that. How do I want to go with Uncharted? And yes, square. Very fancy square. I pulled out a few things for it as. I should have made the down here. I should have made that blink, but I did not. Anyways, so also I had to put work to make this center because my camera is off center. So before I'd be about over here for no good reason. But I think it works. Anyways, let's go on to Uncharted. Now, we have already had like jungle sort of scene up here. And we have a map. So, what can I do? We have mountain and that. Let's do Uncharted Islands. That sounds like a thing. 1 second. Can I expand this a little bit? There we go. Actually, can I fit this snugly to the corner is the question. I sort of just dragged it out to make sure because I was down before, but there we go. Wait. Isn't it typically like top left? Let me ruin this screen for the gimmick. Oop. That's not it. Where are you? Chat. Chat. Where are you, chat? You shouldn't be that hidden. Let me click until I find you. Where are you? Okay, screen chat. That's right below Mike. I can... Let's move you up to the top for later. Okay. Is this better or worse? What do you think? I don't like it. We're going back. It's just destroyed all my setup. I realized as I went along there were reasons I chose this. Let's see. Like that. I mean, the original setup was that I had a cutout in an overlay so that the chat could fit behind it. But it also made like room for this at the bottom. So all the stuff went on here, and I do the standard VTuber live in right side corner, which is kind of odd placement, and I would think comes from Japanese stuff because, you know, right side you look to first. Where I would think that um, I'm not even sure most people realize this, but I would think that Western VTubers would be over here. And it's just a uh, commonality, a cargo cult that everybody goes to bottom right. Anyways, back to this, and I said I was going to do islands, so let's move that off. Let's start with a nice blue. That's not going to help me. I want to have my standard sort of fade into the back. And sky. Let's rough up the waters a bit. Okay. It should be smaller as it goes further back for the lines. Just to fake some distance. We'll have some clouds back here. And to make some islands, let's go with this. Okay, so we have a triangle here. Let's break that up. Let's move you down. We'll have it sweep in right about here. And the space around here will give it a little buffer, but a few small little things there. And then the real unexplored island here. And let's just give it some basic greenery. Let's make this one side cliff. Oops. Give it a beach. And I'll put a little bit of color on it. Yeah, sure. A little bit of lighting on the foliage. Let's go gray. think that comes off more as rock. Yeah, that fits better. Is there a deeper gray? Well, there's always that. And I think I will give a little bit of shading to the clouds. Okay, so some uncharted islands, middle of presumably the ocean. No, that's a little... Actually, I can do a little bit of this. Because it gives it a wave effect around, you know, the stuff in the water. Little turbulence of the currents going in and out. I will actually make this one a bit darker, and that one down here a bit darker. There, we got a bit of gradient going up. We got a little bit of direction to the island of interest, which actually let's build slightly up. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, I just think the brown is nice for dirt. Maybe I could actually put a little bit of it, you know, like right. That's a little bit of it like right over here to show that, like, you know, soil. That's a little too Minecraft block. Let's just fix that. So that works. It also gives a little bit of, hey, island, stone. Island, some stone, sand. So, yeah. The cave adds something to it of like, why would you even go there? Oh, there's this hidden cave. Clearly, something's there. So anyways, on to 21, which is rhinoceros. I'm not going to pull the sin of not doing this without reference. Nice. Do. So, basic image search. Here's our living tank. I will copy the image. So, rhino. As I don't draw these, I have to figure out what the basic shapes are. Should actually say, what are you pulled from? TTLASOPA? Okay. I doesn't sound like a... Sounds more like an aggregate site. But anyways, as I was saying. So the basic shapes, there's a lot going on here. But basic of the gut, the legs kind of come off it up there. Big, thick legs that come down like a cone. A head that is like that. And the neck juts up. Then we got the rest of the neck down here and the horns. So that would be the things to work with for this. So I'm not quite sure how I want to put them into a scene. And it's going to get, you know, reduced in resolution. So that's some green grass. I don't know if I could go with pure savanna sort of thing. I'd like, some parts of me wants to. I've been doing a lot of sky, so let's just have actual greenery as the horizon. So we have that. Fade to a slightly darker brown. Then we have some trees. That green, that green. Once again, select. Nothing too distinct, just there's trees here. I could clean up later. And I said the main body is that. Let's go with gray, because generally the thought of rhino is gray. So, have a little barrel body. Just right here. Okay. Then let's move on to head over here. So, little elongated. How far do you go down? You go down right to about leg level. And what we're here for, the horn. The eye fits, whoops, right behind that horn. So right there. Let's leave that out here for now. What color am I using? I'm using that. So let's just go darker just to put in the in-between points. I might go back in a second. So we have that go down here. Then we have the legs, which are half of the body, of the height of the body. That are like tree trunks. So. And a shade darker for the ones at the back. Move it up just a pixel. Do they have a tail? They have a tail. And they have ears. Let's go up a color so it doesn't like we do horn stuff. They aren't that big. Actually, they are perky little things. So I think we just keep them as 2 and call it a day. Okay, maybe 3 for this one. Got rhino. Want to put in some grass. I don't want to do the deep green grass. I want a savanna grass, which is more of a golden orange, which is to say a more yellow orange. Let's see how it looks. We just put, man, it kind of works. Orange might works, yeah. I like need another orange color or else I can't differentiate it from the background. Maybe I should just go... Well, the darker off this is that. The lighter off this is this. Maybe if I just keep it symbolic, it kind of works. Yeah, that's starting to tree him. That green's too dark. That green's too vibrant. I don't think this works either. Well, it reads as grass. I could find the color. Yeah, let's just go with it. 2, 3. Maybe that's how I break it up. Let's just do a little bit of pixel grass, like the symbolic of it. People will understand. Can't put it down there. Some over here. Some back here, giving it some depth. And let's fix up these trees a bit. I think I might just have to, yeah. That green sort of doesn't work. It reads more as... Reads more as actually more of the... what do I call it? Leaves itself. Kind of works. I think I'm going to have to shade this up a bit, so I'll have to... Go ahead and do a directional shade instead of a pillow outline. This color probably isn't going to last. This needs a bit more up here. These are not great trees. Will a lighter shade on top save? Maybe. Don't overcomplicate it. Can't say this looks like a 200. I might need to do something with this, like dither it or something. I think that might be the ticket. Maybe. Maybe not. You get to be shorter now. You need to be one tree. The trees are too thick. Actually, I think that's going to be good enough. This is the most well-detailed thing, so let's just fix this up. Spot up the hide a little bit. I don't have a darker gray. The background's not important. The background should actually probably be less detailed than this, and this should be the focal point. Okay, I'm good with that. And camp. So I'm thinking this will be a night scene. I know I've done a few, but hey, let's go with this. And so I'm thinking, like you have the campfire, then you barely see anything else. So let's go with the skybox here above whatever's going on. Whoops. And we have the little orange fire here, lighting up some wood that's placed. We're catching some rocks put around the fire. Some of the dirt it's on. You can have over here side of a tent that's catching the light. Oops. Side of another one. Side of another one over here. Maybe a little bit of a tree over here that's catching some of it. Or no. We'll keep it low because we have a background. I think I made it a little bigger than what I wanted, but So I wanted to be like woodsy in the back. Or at least jungly, woodsy, some sort of... We're in a place. And is there anything dark? I could use this. I'd like to have another one for this. What can go a little deeper? That's too bright. Well, the purple. Purple is always a favorite. Yeah, that stops reading as that. Make it read better, we'll have the stakes. I don't know, I want to have something kind of over here, but I also don't want to screw up the scale going on here because the perspective's already a bit weird. Are we standing high enough to see the top of this? The tree, any tree we have would basically, have to go all the way up like this. I mean, that might be neat. Let me actually give that a feel. And then like have it be black. But I don't know if that translates right. So, into the void. But I think that reads as camp. Maybe put a little yellow. Okay. Do. Yeah, I think the head of the rhino might be a little disproportionate, but maybe if I squeeze this in here, but then that touches that. I kind of need all the real estate. Maybe if I get the neck up, or just like, stretch it out a little bit. Okay. So the next is rust. Whoops. I must have clicked somewhere. Okay. Everything seems fine, so I don't think that broke anything. I thought Ark was the second favorite Minecraft. So, rust. Huh. Well, what comes to mind first is a rusty axe, so let's go with that. He has a stump. I mean, Rust has console releases. I mean, Arc has console releases. Does Rust have console releases? Ah, gotcha. Probably. Okay, so let's get a blade of an axe in here. Nice iron axe. I suppose steel does rust too. Okay, and that's a little too big. 1 pixel, I guess, will be all I need. Yeah, let's get that to be correct. 4. There we go. 2 2-step, or no, a 2 1-step. Actually, that should be wood. And this should be buried in at an angle. Have it turn like this. So it's got like the tip of it in there and the rest of it can go flat up. And this should be 2s. Oops. I said 2s. And the stick. Two, 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 and put a little bit of shading on the stick. That. How do I put a good rust on here? Well, I think of that. First, put a little of this on here. We'll use that as a base. And then that'll just read as blood splatter. I think orange will read possibly as it. Rust. Let us look at images. Rusted metal, so I can actually get that besides programming language and other stuff. That is a pretty just orange color. I'm thinking more of a red, but that's more of a red-orange, and I lack both. So I think I'll just have to go with orange and call it a day, because I'm mostly sticking in the A Sprite color set. Maybe I broke away a few times. Mea culpa. But, they all don't have to be great. Anyways, I think that tracks as a rust... Maybe some dithering with this. Yeah, I think this is the ticket. Yeah, it looks like that's eating away at... that is eating away at the metal, so that's probably good. Let's have a highlight. Same with this. I want to... Oops. Sorry. Let's drop shadow a little bit on here. I almost want to put in rings. I say almost, and then I start doing it. Does this add anything to this? Does it make it more muddied and unreadable? It gives it texture, that's for sure. Speaking of which... Okay. I think this works for me. Verdigris? Not sure what you mean by that. And I guess the only shade after that is this. Oh, you know what? For giggles. Since this has been kind of here forever. some mushrooms growing on it. That one doesn't read too well, so let's go back. And just make it one of these ones. There we go. Okay, on to 24. 24 is Expedition. I have lots of expedition-y like things. Actually, you know what? I am going to put a little shade. Boop. So how does an expedition differ from a trek and differ from a nomadic and differ from a drive? So the only places I could think of is expedition in mountains, expedition in rainforest, jungle sort of thing. I guess you could have an Arctic expedition. What does the Arctic crawler look like? Big, long, and probably lots of heating. Yeah, this is one I don't quite like because, as I said, we've gone over multiple things, and I kind of used most of the ideas going through this. I mean, the I'm thinking Arctic, and I'm thinking sled dogs. It's not supposed to be Horizon. How can I get this really cheap? Guy in bright orange thing. gray trim. Got dogs in front of them. That takes up a lot of real estate. If I want to have like multiples of these. And then the sled is something like, you know, woo. Then you have lots of supplies on the back. I'm noodling. I don't like where it's going, but I'm still noodling. Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I could just draw another boat. Actually, have I drawn a... I had a boat drawn, but it was that one. Did I draw just a boat at sea? I have not. Okay, I guess I'm going with that, because I just don't like any... I'd like to do Arctic, but I don't think I have enough room for it. It's got 3 boats in the water. Sounds like a fine number. These are very pixely boats. Churn it up like wine. I forget the phrase. It's the one that people point to say, "Oh, old people didn't, or the old ancient people didn't know what blue was." That, like in the Odyssey or something. I forget what it is. But it's like the entire piece is trying to be as poetic as possible and just going, the blue water. Instead, it goes on about it being churned up wine or something. Then you go and find, and they have stuff with like blue pigments on things. It's like they had a name for it because they used it. There are languages you could find that haven't really gotten color. And usually when they do, it's black, red, and white. Because red's a very important color when it comes to the human physiology. If you're seeing red with a person, something bad has happened. You know what? Let's have some birds. I think it's literally the Odyssey. Yeah, white's a white. If you see white on a person, it's their eyes, which we are very how to put it. We understand that a lot because the birds are out of focus, but it's pixeled. So like eyes play a lot in our communication. Eh. Let's just have it go like this. And if you see white on a person that isn't their eyes, yeah, it's bone. Like, I think the Chinese, um, most cultures see black as like shadow, darkness. We don't like that. That's like death and all that. And Chinese had it more be of bone or like of white because bones are pretty much a very good signifier of death and bad things happening. Very interesting. I think I'm just going to punt on this one. I'm not feeling it. But, yeah. 25. 25 is Scarecrow. Can we do anything interesting with Scarecrow? I mean, this could be a jungle Scarecrow. It could be a ward instead of, you know, a Scarecrow at a farm. Yeah, I don't want to break that up. Okay. Though I should probably, you know, at least try slightly. Okay. Nah. Okay. Yeah, we could do a field one. So can I have this looking up into the sky from down below? So low angle. We have the sack of a head here. You know, farmer's hat. I'm making it more like a stuffy, but that's fine. Okay, that's a good start. I can actually use red here because, you know, farmer. Okay, so that goes down here. Back up. Wish I had another red in this palette. Let's give him some good old suspenders. Okay, let's have that be like that, and we can actually show the stick coming into his skull. Yeah, I was thinking of checkered, to be honest. We'll see if I get to it, but I just want to texture this up to show that it's like, you know. sackish, but okay. What is it typically? Is it red, green? Farmer's outfit. I know it's a plaid. Whoops. Yeah, okay, it's black stripes making... Yeah, I'm not going to go that full plaid. But I can get close. So mainly I want to have the darkest one every other thing. So let's have this be a square. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This will make sense in a minute. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's 3. So up 1 now that I don't have to go too weird. Okay, and this should be like 1, 2, 3. So like down here. 1. Okay. So now onto the light gray. Maybe this won't work. Yeah, I don't think this can work. I'd have to put a lot more effort into it. Also, these can be blue. Or at least dark blue. It's-a me, a Mario. Let's just checker it. Will that work? Let's try over here. Because I'm looking at the proper plaid. Let me just pull this up. This is a good example of it. And the problem with plaid is that it has intermediates in between them. And I don't think I'd get that all in there. I'd have to have proper straight lines, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying... Oh, wait. No, I wasn't thinking right. It did alternate in that the red was in there. Well, anyways. Let's see how checkered works for this. Well, no, you know, once I get the checkers in, I can just... cheat to win, but let's see. And I'm very specifically... Okay, so we have that. Can we just go... And that's our fake plaid. Okay, this one would be plaid, this one would be red. Okay, this would be plaid, this would be red. Yeah, it works. Works better than expected. Yeah. Okay, and this is going to be orange. Oops. Yes, I don't. And you know, the shoots of some sort of golden grain. Okay. You're that color. Can I use you as... I can use you as highlight. I want to use something as shade. Can't use that. Can probably use that. Put some belt buckles here or something. Do, do. Yeah, it's not a standard plaid, because the standard plaid is that this would be surrounded by this, but I'd have to do a lot more work. It's checkered, it stands out, it's a fake plaid. Now let's get this hat working right. There we go. The only other yellow on this in tech is a technicality because it reads more as a brown. But brown is really just desaturated or is darker orange or desaturated orange at times. And that goes into yellow a lot. So it does work. Yeah, I don't think that top part needs... Okay, let's make this rounded and think on this again. So we have a hat that's up here, and a little bit more. It's up here. You can even go like this. Honestly, probably good enough. I knew it. Did it anyways. Let's put a little cloud here. Just to give some more depth to this. Little white on that. Okay. Scarecrow. Now for the last one. At a little over the hour mark. 15 minutes to be exact. And that would be camera. And because I think it's kind of funny, do you, these old things. Okay, boop. Boop. And up here we can have the flash powder. Let's tilt that even. As the person is holding it off screen. Whoops, that's not a color I can use. Off. And nah, no tilt. Nobody will know what that is anymore. Heck, I shouldn't even know what this is anymore. Yep. It's it's honestly kind of it's real interesting how the old ones used to work because it was literally powder. I think I forgot what type it was, but they just ignited something that was really bright. They were one and dones. Let's 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 elevate you a little bit. There we go. Was it magnesium? Yeah, you put a person behind here that looks through it, then they flip up the frame and ignite it. Yeah, okay. Anything else I can put on here? Well, I suppose I should round the edges while I'm here. I don't think this was more blue, but I don't have much of a choice with not having a lot of dark grays. Well, I could... No, I can use this. I can use this. I think potassium chloride might have been used more because I think that was cheaper. Because pure magnesium probably cost a pretty penny. potassium, while hard, is not a metal. Well, not a, I want to say, largely used metal. But then what, again, back in the day was magnesium used for. Okay, anyways, I think I'm going to just stick with that. And this can cause so much confusion as to what the heck is that supposed to be. And the answer is a guy hiding under a sheet in order to look through a hole so that he could time firing off a piece of flash powder so that there could be enough exposure on his film. Honestly, can I make this just black? And does it track? How about, I don't want to, well, if I make this the, okay, let's do a shuffle. Possibly. Okay, I think I'm going to call it good for that one. I don't want to fuss with it too much more. It's kind of like a punt, like over here. Though, yeah. Can I do a step down on the side of this? Go to like this. Whoops, not that. Okay, good. Now that's round. Nah. We'll stop that. Yeah. So out of all of these, this one is actually pretty detailed, but you could tell the first day I really got into that, and then I just kind of kept with this sort of idea. The cheaper ones are that and that. And then this is the cheap one of the group. This is kind of cheap, but I don't want to put a lot of stuff in there. This is honestly kind of, these two are honestly kind of the most detailed of them. This one kind of loses it in the back. I noticed on this one, zooming in or out, I probably should have grouped it more instead of giving it as much texture, but that's fine. This one's a nice shot. It doesn't do too much. This one kind of gets lost in the weeds. Honestly, this one's still kind of the highlight of the whole thing. It just worked out the best. Well, I'm more particularly into this sort of fade out in the background sort of thing. Also, I do like the lighting the fire. But that is what that is. And honestly, I have a few things I want to do today, so I don't know if I'll be doing much more. Maybe I do the McDonald's girl that's been going around tomorrow as a sprite. I don't know. I'll see about that. Because I do think I want to do that one. But I also have some traditional stuff I wish to do. Ah, thank you. It's weird because those no longer read as a... Because these are clearly a dark green, but they no longer read as a green at like 2 times out. It's a weird desaturation from all that. It just looks like a gray, which is partly the point of having that dark green. Maybe if I gribbled the road up, it'd be a little better, but... Anyways, let me, file, export, that's updated? Yeah, that's updated. So I'm going to call that a day and save this down to a higher resolution to put up on the Twitter. And thank you for coming. And I'll possibly see you tomorrow or at least next week when I get to do 5. What was Jason 5? I did Die Hard today. Friday 13th 5. Is it Jason Goes to New York? I'm getting a new beginning. I say. I can't do the Pixel Strike Back as that would be a proper 5, but I already did the Pixel Strike Back. What is Nightmare on Elm Street 5? Dream Child. I'm not going with Pixel Child. I'm not going with Dream Pixel. So what do I do? I'll think of something. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Maybe tomorrow. I'll know by later tonight if I actually feel like it and if I have time. But for now, have a good time of day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of it or the sleep. And I will see you sometime soon.